his esteemed partner and wife.
No.
Not wife, sister. I meant to ask you that before we started. I should have asked you that. Someone told me you were husband and wife, but brother and sister. Gadhiraju, she's trained in Ayurveda since childhood. Padma Gadhiraju has trained since she's been a child in Ayurveda, and she holds a host of academic titles ranging from an MSc in psychology, an MA in public and personal management, and she holds a BAMS in Ayurveda also. She's a consultant at Dr. Raju's Institute of Ayurveda, and she specializes in Panchakarma, infertility, women's health, and pregnancy care. She's a herbalist, and she prepares formulations that support the natural healing of Ayurveda. Put your hands together for Padma Gadhiraju. And the last member of our three today is Dr. Sanjay Manchanda. Sanjay is a psychotherapist, educator, and spiritual guide. He bridges ancient wisdom with modern science and technology. He trained in non-dual disciplines such as Buddhism, Tantra, and Vedanta, along with the in-depth psychology. His work focuses on meditation, trauma resolution, psycho-spiritual integration, and he's the CEO. You might have all seen this in the merchandise area, where his work focuses on something that he calls the neuro matrix. So if you've seen a black helmet that people are sitting about with their eyes closed, he focuses now on pioneering neuroscience and photobiomodulation is what Dr. Sanjay has been looking at recently. He also teaches at the California Institute of Integral Studies and the California Institute of Human Science. Big hand, please, for Sanjay Manchanda. I'm going to start with the esteemed doctor, and Krishna, I'm going to ask you just to inform the audience your work and what you generally do in day-to-day consultations and what you've been working on in your own practice in Dr. Raju's Ayurvedic Institute. If you could just kindly address the audience, please.
Jai Ganga. So, I am a Ayurveda physician. So, actually, we are from generations together, we are physicians in our family. So, everybody learns Ayurveda only. And we have, it is coming in the lineage that everybody studies the Ayurveda only. And later on, from my father and my brother, we are also into the university studies. We are studying getting the university degrees also, and we have a Panchakarma clinic in Hyderabad. So we have the facility for 100 to 150 people, and we do everyday consultations and Panchakarmas, and also we are going to start the educational institute to learn, whoever wants to learn Ayurveda. So for them, we are also planning all those things. And this is, we treat so many conditions, like the many cancers we have treated and many neurological diseases we have treated. And we get the people from all over the world. So that is my profile. Yeah. Thank you.
Jai Gange, Jai Sri Krishna. I am Dr. Padma Nayani Gadhiraju. I work with Dr. Krishna, and also I visit different countries like Australia, UK, London, and US, several other countries also. So I have seen different kinds of disabilities and diseases which were impossible to cure also. So I always suggest before the disease exists, we have to prevent the disease. So this is our main motto. And Panchakarma does that. Panchakarma is a 5-way of detoxification. So most of you, even if you Google, it will tell you about what is Panchakarma. And nowadays, most of the people are knowing it. So people, though they are very in a good condition with their health, they still come for Panchakarma, and the neighbors and the other people ask us, what is her disease? We say they don't wait for disease. They don't let the disease come to them. So this is what is Ayurveda telling us. Prevention. Prevention is what Ayurveda says, and we are serving Ayurveda since many decades, since many generations, where my forefathers have learnt it through the Samhitas. And there was no degree kind of thing, but now we have to go to the university and get the degree. What have you done? So people ask us. Now, if we say we are coming with our knowledge, then they don't try. We have to present ourselves. So for that we need degree, but everybody can learn Ayurveda. It is for your own sake and for your society you are living in. So who will stop you from learning for yourself? Like yoga, you are learning for your own health first. So Ayurveda teaches you right from what to eat and how to sleep. So we teach this mainly to the people who come to our clinic, and also we give Panchakarma. And after COVID, people are facing so many other issues with the health. We are treating with that, so that the side effects of the vaccination or who have got COVID will be treated and the side effects will be taken away. I will go much deeper about it, and I will. And also infertility, which is the most important thing we have to discuss in these days. In those days, 10 children were like a common. Now, 2 children, okay, but 1 child is common, and 3 children is a big thing. Forget about 10 children. So, and infertility, no children. This is also causing a big issue in the entire world. People are not marrying until a certain age for their ambitions or for their career. And then after marriage, they have so many issues with the pollution, with the lifestyle especially, and with the herbal guidance is not provided. So these are all things are causing, and software jobs, which are making them to sit and make them more kapha. So this way it is causing so many different problems, imbalances in the body, and causing the infertility. So this is one of the things which I focus on and try to teach and give them the guidance to have a healthy progeny. My next talk is in the Gomati Hall about the progeny, successful and healthy progeny. I wish.
Thank you. Well, I'm deeply honored to be in such company. Unlike both of you, I don't come from a generation of doctors. I come from a generation of merchants. However, there is some commonality that we could talk about, which is that I'll tell you something about my background. I originally was an electrical engineer, then became a computer scientist, was a professor of computer science, left my job as a computer scientist, came back to India on my own spiritual journey, and did a lot of meditation and yoga over the years, and had a big awakening here, and then decided to become a meditation teacher and then a psychotherapist, primarily to deal with my own mental problems. And then over time, I've explored different methods of healing and teaching to help people in the way I can help myself. So one of the things I worked with was biofeedback, and I have a technical background, so you could pick up the brain waves and help people to train them in various ways, as well as push them a little bit using magnetism and sound and electricity and light. And in the last 10, 15 years, I've found that the use of light, particularly infrared light, is very powerful for the brain. And it feeds the brain. It feeds the mitochondria that produce energy. It gives more energy to the brain. And you were talking about COVID. There's studies on showing that infrared light will improve brain fog after COVID. And so this is a way of bringing in some modern technology to an ancient understanding of being out in the sun, which has infrared, but in a more specific way that it can help to heal the brain. And my particular interest has been to flash the infrared waves at high frequency, which seems to be very powerful. It's very powerful to help people to get into deep states of meditation. It accelerates the access to meditation states. So last year, after many years of playing around with this, I started a company that has a headset that sells this for just starting, and because a lot of my meditation students wanted these headsets. And so you're welcome to come and try it. So that's one of the things I do. I'm also a spiritual teacher and a psychotherapist. That's good. Thank you.
Padma, I just want to ask you a few questions because for the benefit of all the people, some of us have travelled in India, we've spent time in India, we've done Panchakarma numerous or once or a few occasions. Could you just briefly explain, because Panchakarma is a technical term, and you understand it, I understand it, but for the benefit of the audience, could you explain, please, what Panchakarma is, please? Thank you.
Ayurveda is a very old science, ancient science, approximately around more than 5,000 years. And Ayurveda tells about prevention. And those days, through the prevention, all these diseases were not existing, and everything was existing, but people have good immunity. And only kings used to take the Panchakarma. Kings and royal people used to take Panchakarma because Panchakarma is a very luxurious treatment filled with oils and different other herbs which give you rejuvenation and your body feels relaxed. So kings used to work hard, kings and soldiers, some important people, VIPs used to get that. So for that reason, Panchakarma has been made smoother and not to be in a harder way. So, because if the king gets angry, he can even kill the Vaidya. So that's why we use, the acharyas of the Samhita and the Panchakarma is made in a very easier way, not invasive, not like the blood or operations or anything. It is 5 different methods of detoxifying your body. So the 5 methods include Vamana. Vamana is for the kapha doshas, those who have skin issues or even the kapha issues with the breathing and respiratory. For such people, Vamana is done. It is a procedure to bring the body to a level of toxins accumulated and thrown out of the body through the vomiting. And these procedures are in a very smooth way. You intake the ghee and follow a certain diet and then we make them accumulate all the toxins to a place, and then you can vomit. So this way the kapha doshas are being cleared out. And next is the virechana, in which also again oils, ghee and different procedures. And to come to a panchakarma, we have to do purva karma. Purva karmas are massages and making your stress free with the dharas. All these are to be done before the panchakarma so that your body is tuned and acceptable for the panchakarma. And then virechana also, virechana is eliminating. So through the bowels, the doshas are eliminated. So we give herbs and different diets so that you eliminate properly and take away the doshas. This up to the chest, the kapha dosha, in between is the pitta, and below the navel is the vata. So all these doshas will be taken out through these panchakarmas. Vamana is kapha dosha, virechana is vata dosha. Vamana, virechana, vasti. Vasti is through oils and decoctions, we give internally the enemas, like through the anus, we give the enemas, and which are very gentle, which are very easy, and you feel very good after the bastis. First, we give oleation to the body, and then we make the body soft to eliminate only the doshas, and then the doshas to be removed, we give another basti, which takes away all the impurities from the body. This is a very smooth and simple and easy way where the person feels very cleaned and cleared. So who come for panchakarma, they sometimes the people come for twice a year and come for 4 weeks. So this way they take care of the body in such a way, sometimes we feel that this is the best method. And once a year also they come and do the panchakarma, and they look half of their age, those who are doing like this. Very good, healthy skin, and everything is very, very good with their vitals and everything. So this way, if you remove the impurities, then the next year again, they come to take away the toxins which are formed freshly. So this way you can do detoxification, Vamana, Vasti, Vamana, Virechana, Vasti, and the fourth one is Nasya. So Nasya is Nasena Shiraso Dwaram. Through the nose, you will have a gateway to your head, central nervous system. So, though it's simply, if you see, Nasya is a very small, very simple procedure. But it does wonders with your brain, with your head, with your central nervous system. One has to take care of this complete central nervous system for the mind and body coordination. So this helps very much with the mind and body coordination. And even not in the Panchakarma, you can do this when you are outside, after Panchakarma, before Panchakarma. It's a very simple procedure. Put 1 drop of oil on your little finger, apply into your both nostrils, and do pranayam. It will give you the fresh air, as well as it will improve with your vata disorders and help you in respiration and all the other factors you are feeling tough. And this does wonders. Just follow this. If you don't have a Nasya oil, do with a pure Bilona ghee. You must be knowing about Bilona ghee. I will explain you later. But ghee what we are eating. Just apply one drop to your little finger and apply into one nostril, another drop, another nostril, and do long breaths. And out, in, out. So this will give you long life. How much ever long breaths you take, that much longer and healthier you live. So this is also told in pranayama also. So this way you can do pranayama as well as the nasika. This is told for you to do for 14 times in our texts, in our samhitas. But this is impossible in day-to-day life now with this busy life. So at least once in the morning, once in the night. Will remove so many toxins, day-to-day toxins and accumulated toxins. This is one of the procedures, Panchakarma procedures. And when we are doing in the Panchakarma, we do it in a different way, special way. We give massages and bring all the toxins, and it will all come through the throat, and you have to spit it out, and the central nervous system is clear. And the next one is the Rakta Mokshana. We have bad blood. We have everything inside the blood. We take the test from the blood only, na? So like that, blood has so many impurities. With all these procedures, impure blood accumulates at a certain place, and we put leeches on that area, and it takes out the bad blood. And then we treat the leeches. Sometimes it survives, otherwise with the poison of your blood it dies. But be very careful for selecting the leeches, because it should not be used for anybody. It should be pure, and only the normal water is the food for that and cleansing for that. Every 2 days, just changing the normal water, not the mineral water. Mineral water, it dies. In the normal water, it has its food. So that way we treat the leech with that for several days, and then we put the leech for that person. Recently, one lady came, and her age is around 70. She had diabetes and she has diabetic foot. So she went to a doctor and he said they have to amputate. We have done so many before also, but just 2 days before, and the doctor said if not, it might come up to the knee and we have to amputate up to that level. But only with 4 leeches, almost the toe from this size to this size it has reduced, and all the bad blood and all that has been sucked by the leeches. They were surprised to see the leeches growing with the bad blood. So finally we tried to save the leech, but I don't know what happened. But this is all made because of the kings, luxuriously. While removing from that food, you will not even notice a little pain. So it is like the process is going on, it is pulled from that toe, and you will not even have any idea how it is. So this way, all these Panchakarma procedures, those who need it, we give. Those who don't need, we just do it with the procedures only. Whichever procedure is needed, we give. So this is the simple way of explaining the Panchakarma. And I wish that everybody should get Panchakarma done. Because you do so much for yourself. This increases your lifespan. I don't say with the counting or something, but approximately you will gain at least 2 years lifespan. You will see that difference in yourself. So hope everybody enjoyed this.
Thank you, Padma. Raju, Dr. Raju, sorry, Krishna. I just want to move on and ask you, that's very much in the context of preventative medicine, yes? So if you look at Panchakarma as being preventative, Krishna, how do you deal with patients who have gone beyond the preventative, who have started to be diagnosed with cancer, have infertility problems? A big thing in the West and even in India today is obesity. Obesity amongst young people and middle-aged people. Neurological conditions, Alzheimer's, early onset dementia. How do you deal with that? If Panchakarma is one of the main treatments, which is preventative, when people are already diagnosed and these disorders, these neurological, physiological disorders have set in, how do you deal with that? How would the Ayurvedic doctor at Dr. Raju's Institute of Ayurveda deal with those patients?
So, the treatments, mainly it is of two types. For the good energetic person and the low energetic person. So, whoever cannot bear the panchakarmas. In the panchakarma, we need to apply so many things, and also we need to take out the toxins. So, whoever are strong enough, for them we will do the panchakarmas, and for the other people we give the herbs and herbo mineral things. We give and treat the diseases. Actually, Ayurveda doesn't label like disease. Ayurveda is mainly dealing with the doshas and dhatus and malas. Which dosha is high and which dosha is low. According to that, it will balance it. When the doshas are in balance, then this is disease free. When the doshas are imbalanced, then the disease might arise. So, Panchakarma or even the palliative treatment, whatever it is, those things will make the doshas into proper alignment, proper equilibrium state. Then only it is called disease free. Samadosha, samagnischa, samadhatu malakriya. So, the dosha should be in the equilibrium. Dhatus, all the bodily tissues has to be in the equilibrium. And the Agni is the digestive fire. It has to be in the equilibrium. It should not be so high and so low. And then the Malakriya, the proper elimination has to happen properly. Elimination is also one of the purification. So every day elimination should be the thing. And then prasanna atma indriya manaha. So the mind should be always calm and quiet, and mind should enjoy the prasannata. Prasannata means bliss, yeah. So the mind, body and all the indriyas, sensory organs and motor organs and the atma. When it is there, then only a person is called healthy. So Ayurveda's main aim is swasthasya swasthya rakshanam aturasya roga prashamanam. Means the main aim is first prevention, preventing the diseases, whoever are healthy, making them more healthy, and then the diseased people, treating the diseases. This is the Ayurveda's main aim. And about the infertility. Infertility is one of the biggest problem nowadays. So, for that, the main cause is, we can say, stress. So, people are getting lot of stress. They cannot bear even some simple things. They feel a lot of stress, which they feel and they imply to their body completely. They feel everywhere, that is. So that is why it is creating a lot effect on the progeny also. When I was studying my first year BAMS, it was 1992. So at that time, the normal spermatozoa count, at that time it was 90 to 150 million. So it was at that time 90 to 150 million, and nowadays, today the normal value they consider it as 25 million. So they will, on going the time passing, it is reducing a lot. The health is not increasing. You see, even the diabetes also, when I was studying, the normal value was 140 mg per dl. But now fasting glucose, now it is 100. Few years before it was 110. So when it is going down, people are falling into diseases. So the present, whatever the topic it is, they are filling our minds with the disease consciousness. So when we are into the disease consciousness, we are inviting the diseases. So after 30 years, everybody should do so many investigations. And they keep some cancer screening camps. So we go there and check the cancer, and if it is not there, we are happy. So if it is there, then you are searching for the disease, you are not searching for the health. So that consciousness of disease is quietly wrong. So we have to, Ayurveda always says about the health, healthy living, longevity, healthy food, and making your health more vital and making your body and mind more strong. That is what Ayurveda deals.
When you start to look at the neurological implications of health these days, you'll hear a lot of people talking about neurodivergence and issues that have come to mind probably within the last 30 to 40 years. Neuroscience as a discipline has started to greatly influence not just mainstream health, but alternative, what we call in the West, alternative health. And I'd like just Sanjay to this breakthrough more or less in neuroscience. 45, 50 years ago, neuroscience was a very, very small discipline, very poor evidential research, and now we have a whole plethora of research along the lines of neuroscience, neuropathways to deal with different neurodivergence disorders like ADHD and Alzheimer's and early onset dementia, autism. How do you foresee, or how have you witnessed in your own personal experience how the yogic world and the alternative world, the Ayurveda world, the yogic world, what they call the wellness industry in the West, has reacted to those breakthroughs in neurosciences? Because Sadhviji is quite fond of saying that science is just catching up with what we knew years and years ago. And neuroscience is starting to verify evidentially things that yogis have been practicing for a very long time. So I'd like your opinion about these developments within neuroscience as a scientist.
Sure, I can start with a little story. they were testing brains in a scanner, and they would have in the fMRI scanner, and they would have people do some tasks, like do some math, do a math problem, do some math problems, and see, okay, what part of the brain lights up? Is there some part of the brain that's more connected with this kind of task or that kind of task? And then they discovered that when the person in the scanner wasn't doing anything, the brain was actually very active. It was even more active than when it was doing math. And it was consuming more energy, more glucose. And the scientists, not being meditators, they called it the default mode network, the parts of the brain that light up when you're not doing anything particular. And turns out that that's the part of the brain that's what we call as meditators monkey mind, or the part of the brain that's focusing on self in the past, self in the future, or thinking about self as who am I, and this is what I'll do, or this is the kind of person I am. And so it took him a while to get to the fact that there is actually parts of the brain that light up which have to do with the selfing network. And that indeed, that part of the brain has something to do with meditation, and when meditation happens, it quiets down. That's just one example. And so different patterns of meditation and activity can be better captured by the brain in the last few decades. And we know that there has been meetings, like the contemplative meetings with the Dalai Lama and neuroscientists coming together, and him saying, well, let's do some research projects on contemplation and neuroscience, and it's been funded more and more. So there has been a lot of progress in seeing from the more materialistic brain point of view that there is all this corresponding activity in the brain, and also some better understanding on how we can actually use that knowledge to maybe take things further. So that's one of my interests, is to merge the ancient wisdom with some modern wisdom in a way that's safe and effective. And so that's for example, what we find is that when we flash the brain at high frequencies, we can allow the person to get into a simpler state of mind, because the whole brain starts doing the same thing. And in order to think and solve problems, actually the whole brain cannot do the same thing. It has to, different parts of the brain has to do different things. Like a company with different departments, the departments have to talk to each other, but they can't be doing the same thing. And in meditation states, we have a simpler activity. So that's just one example. And then I've also done biofeedback with various conditions, including attention problems and autism. And we can learn to change the brain waves to help the brain to rewire itself using those ideas. So, and I think so the question is, one thing is we can verify scientifically that some of the states we talk about and some of the treatments we've talked about in more ancient Ayurveda and the states we talk about in meditation have analogs, and that makes them more real to Westerners. They're already real to Easterners. So that's useful, and then they can be studied, and then at some point we can come back and make changes, careful changes with the way we are measuring the brain or even stimulating the brain, so we can go deeper faster. I think the other thing I would just say is something like Ayurveda is anything we do, there's a whole holistic system. If you don't support the health of your body and your brain in various ways, including living a healthy life the way Ayurveda explains, or doing panchakarma. By the way, I'm sold on panchakarma. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it. And then how will you be more successful in your life? Whether you want peak performance or deep meditation, you have to support the brain. And I like the light therapy, it's just one thing because it supports the brain health, but really you have to do everything, all of that. So it's really would be interesting to see how you can combine things.
I think I've come to the sort of point where I want to sort of make a crossover now, because we have a neuroscientist and someone who's particularly interested in science, and a crossover between traditional medicine and Ayurvedic medicine, or what you want to call, what a lot of the Westerners still refer to it as alternative medicine, whether it's Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, a lot of whole food medicine that came out of the 70s. But Sanjay, you talk about working with your brain, but me and you have had a few conversations now about where your other intelligence is in your body. And me personally, I'm convinced that your second brain is in your gut. And your gut, and the intelligence in your gut, and me personally, your intelligence in your colon can be totally as effective as what's going on inside your head. So this crosses over with Ayurveda because it's to do with the microbiome and the intelligence that exists within your stomach, within your gut. And this has become in modern neuroscience called your second brain. And your second brain is in your gut. And I would just like to throw it to Padma and Krishna because in India, I see very poor diet. Obesity, ill health, fried food, a lot of we have a wheat fad, you have a sort of wheat fad where you're consistently feeding yourself white rice, white fat, ghee, a lot of butter fat, and the obesity within India and the general health of Indians physically tends to suggest that relationship between the intelligence in the head, in the brain, and the intelligence, the microbiome in the gut is being largely ignored within traditional Indian medicine. Could you talk about that, please? Because I've been coming to India for a very long time, and I've ate a lot of Indian food, and I see a lot of Indians, and I can look at their body shape, I can look at their bodily health, and it's not particularly endearing to a healthy lifestyle. So with the focus on the gut health and the intelligence of the mind and the body and the holistic health, I see it as being in the colon and in being in the intestine, in the microbiome in the gut. How do you, as Indian Ayurvedic specialists, relate to that obesity which is prevalent within modern Indian society? Either one of you.
So, Ayurveda said one daily routine. Actually, so many things are now forgotten. What to eat and how to eat and how to behave and all these things. The main thing, the food, actually after the British, everybody in India also started eating 3 to 4 times. Usually it is mentioned 2 times. Like in yoga, say, Eka Bhukte Yogi. One time eating, he is a yogi. Dvibhukte Bhogi. 2 times eating is enjoyable. And Tribhukte Rogi. Rogi means the diseased person. So, this is the sick person, yeah. So, if you are eating 3 times, the digestion will get disturbed and you will get the diseases. You will be sick. So, what we are doing more than 3 times, 4 times, the food we are taking. So, and emotional eating is a lot because everybody is doing the night duties. Whenever they are stressful, either they are drinking some chai, coffee, or some food, whatever it is there, they will eat. So, eating habits have been completely gone. And the routine, what it is said, Brahmi Muhurte Uttishtha. You have to get up early in the morning between 3:30 to 5:30. But it is gone. Nobody is doing. Very few people. And why it is said to get up early? Because there is a cycle going on with the sun and moon. So before the sun rises, we have to get up. And not only that, how the body is consisting of 3 doshas, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Vata is the factor for the knowledge perception and the movements. So whatever you are gaining, whatever you are seeing, whatever you are observing, the knowledge what it is coming to the brain, that is through vata. And the movements, whatever the signals and food moving, blood moving, heart pumping and all these things are from vata, the movements. Pitta is the factor for the digestion. And kapha is the factor for the coherence and connectivity. So, in the age, if we take the first 0 to 30 years, we can consider kapha age, where the body is growing and body is building up. 30 to 60 is the pitta age, where you will get all the metabolic issues. And 60 to 90 is the vata age, where you get all these vata disorders, the connectivity and also the alertness and degeneration and all these things. So according to that, we need to take the food. And similarly, during the day and night, 2 to 6 is the vata period. So during the vata period, if we get up, more alertness, the mind can grasp more things. Actually, for the Vedic scholars, the Brahmi Muhurta between 3:30 to 5:30, it is said Veda Adhyayana Kala, means reading Vedas at that time, learning Vedas, by hearting the Vedas at that time. So, because the mind is so sharp at that time, because of the vata, the alertness and grasping and everything will be good. So that is why before 6 o'clock we have to get up. And if we getting up early in the morning during the vata time, because movements and also pushing the wastages is also vata function. So before 6 o'clock, if you are trying to eliminate your malas, your fecal matter and the daily daily the completions, So if you finish that during the vata time, that is the best. If you are missing that time, then 6 to 10 is the kapha time. Kapha is for the stability, slow and sluggish. So if you are getting up during the kapha period, slowly your metabolism goes low. And everything you will get slow and the alertness will be slow, you will be dull if you are doing every day that thing. And then the pitta time, 10 to 2 is the pitta time. So pitta is the factor for the digestion. So that is why your food, the main meals should be during the pitta time, that is during the daytime. The same timings for night also, but during the daytime you have to take your main meal. Why? Because all the Agnis are controlled by the source of Agni is the sun. The sun is high in the noon. So that is why during the daytime you have to take your main meal. But because of the offices and all the works and all, what you do, your main meal you will take at night. So that is also one of the problems. And so much of insomnia problem right now. People are not sleeping well because they are not sleeping during the kapha period. If you are trying to sleep during the kapha period, between 6 to 10, If you sleep before 10 o'clock, if you are trying to sleep, you will get the good sleep. And after that, in the night after that, again the Pitta period comes. During the Pitta time, the micronutrition will happen inside. All the vitamins and minerals will be absorbed properly, and all the other Dhatu Agnis will work for that, and proper distribution, proper assimilation, and proper absorption of all the vitamins and minerals will happen. So this is what is lacking nowadays. And one more simple thing, every day, abhyangam achare nityam sa jara shramapaham. Every day we have to do self-oil massage. If you don't have time, at least head, palms, soles, navel, ears, and nostrils. So these has to be applied oil definitely. This knowledge is completely gone. Nobody is applying oil. And when I was in my school, if I don't apply oil, they used to write in the diary. And I used to get punishment for not applying the oil. But nowadays, the teachers are like that. If you apply the oil, they might give the punishment. So, if you apply oil to your child and send him to school, then he looks very odd among everybody. So, they are not applying oils nowadays. So, that was very much in the routine earlier, but now it is gone. The food also, the combinations, usually everybody knows, because one proper meal has to be taken every day at least one time. All the 6 tastes and properly, like rice, dal, sabji, and some sour things, and at the end we take with the lassi and all. Because first thing during the food, the first taste should be sweet. But after the Britishers, what it happened, we are ending with the sweet. Why we need to take first sweet? Because the Agni is very strong. When we are about to start the food, the fire is so strong, so first thing what we should give is heavy food. The heavy food first we have to take, then the lighter food. So all the 6 tastes we have to add into the food, not just one thing. So these all are, the knowledge is gone. It is, nobody is following the things. That is why all the diseases are also getting more, and prevention is also not happening.
One more question, Padma, before we hand it over to the audience. Getting back to infertility. Infertility in the West attracts a great deal of IVF. There's a lot of IVF, and there's a lot of, it's almost become a fairly common course of treatment for young women nowadays to follow IVF if they have problems with their infertility. What sort of, the same way you described Panchakarma and the steps of Panchakarma and made it easy for everyone to understand, could you just let, especially young women who may be having problems conceiving, what would be the Ayurveda school with yourself and Dr. Raju to treat that infertility so there's no need to resort to IVF? That would be really helpful if you could explain that to us, please.
Yes. So, when we are talking about infertility, and how many people are conceiving after the IVF? 20 to 30% only. And that too, it's like taking the sperm and the ovum together and fertilizing for 5 or 6 days and then again inserting it in the womb. This is a kind of procedure which was even explained, which was even brought out in Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, Gandhari had conception and Kunti also had conception. Whoever delivers first, that child will become the king. So Gandhari makes her womb break, and that falls as 100 pieces. And then the Dronacharya, the Rishi, makes it into pots, mud pots, and puts ghee and herbs in it, and they all become fertile and conceived, and 100 children are born. So this is from the ovum and sperm, which was fertilized inside and brought out by accident, and they have been saved. So if you go into modern science, it is nothing but IVF. Children, nowadays we are hearing that even children are born according to your choice. What color, what features, what kind of child. We are hearing about it. It's nearby. It will come in the coming days. So science has made it happen, and this science has been told thousands of years ago. So, but if you see the characters of the children of the Pandavas, the Kunti children who are born naturally, and this, there are some stress built up even in that progeny. So, I don't say don't go for that. Having a child is a blessing. But the capacity is within you. Just changing your lifestyle and some deficiencies inside you, you can overcome this. I have come through many different people. The main thing is Vata. If you control Vata, you can control many diseases. So 80 diseases are caused, 80 in number, diseases are caused due to Vata disturbance. 40 diseases are caused due to Pitta disturbance. 20 diseases are caused due to Kapha disturbance. So once you control Vata, almost the Pitta diseases are also being controlled and Kapha diseases are also being controlled. So there is no proper oleation, there is no proper food which has been guided by during the cycles. Nowadays, when the child gets her first cycle, she will be kept under rest, relaxation, fed with sweet foods, milky products, and given very soft diet. The child gets frustrated also sometimes. Child does not eat. So we have to make her more stronger with these things on the first cycle when she gets menarche. Nowadays, nobody does that. Even Indians don't do that. So this gives so much energy to the system, reproductive system, as well as uterus. Even though they are not planning for child or something, but the health is more important, reproductive health is more important. So from that, every cycle you have certain things, like not to lift heavy things, eat milk rice, and another thing my forefathers have got is the banana treatment, which improves the reproductive system, which improves the uterus. Uterus is one of the organ which is extra from the men. So woman has the capacity as a creator to bring another life into this world. So women have to be given proper rest. Nowadays, women are being stressed with household as well as doing the office jobs. So this way, the woman who is creating another life is not getting proper valued and proper rest. So both ways, woman is being stressed in a different conditions where the stress is falling on the reproductive system. And also the software jobs, what she is doing, all the time sitting, which causes obesity. And the software jobs, their careers make them conceive after their career, which is like after 30 years, the capacity reduces. The capacity will be less of conception. So, before 30 years, the marriage and conception should be completed. Or else, a little above 30 years, again, you will be healthy. Because after the child is born, it is much more work. When the child is inside, its pregnancy is easier. But after the childbirth, it's very, very difficult to take care of the child and herself. Everybody forgets about herself. Even when somebody is coming and seeing, they take care about the child but forgets about mother. Mother does not have proper rest. Mothers does not have proper feed, proper nutrients. But still, she does all this because of the joy of having the children. So, this is causing infertility for the next one. There is one more saying from old generations that this is called Smashana Vairagya. While the child is born, she is feeling like a graveyard. She is in the graveyard and she will never do this again. But when it comes to the next pregnancy, she will be happy to bear it. This is the nature of woman. All the female being will have this kind of nature by birth. So they want to have a child, but because of some other reasons nowadays, even in India also, they don't want children. They want to live for themselves. That is another thing. But fertility. So we have so many cases who are trying hard for their progeny, but they are not getting just because of stress. Mainly the stress and late marriages, late conceptions. But I have cases even at the age of 44. Natural births, because she was from London. She doesn't want child to be born with IVF. And I told her, and she is very much particular about having a child. So I told, if not, you have to go to IVF. If you are stressing so much, so many miscarriages happened. Then she stopped her career, she stopped everything. It is a yagya. You have to put your attention on your menstrual cycles, how they are going, and even the male who is the father has to also put their attention, their lifestyle, because it is a combination of male and female. And why I am stressing on female is, there are 4 factors which is responsible for your progeny. Rutu, Kshetra, Ambu, Bija. Rutu is the season and the fertility time of your progeny. Kshetra is your area, reproductive area, uterus. Rutu is the season. If you are not ovulating, season is, again it is related with the plant and land, sand. Not sand, soil. So, Rutu is, if it is not a season and you are putting that plant, it won't grow. In hot summer, if you are not taking care and you want to plant a tree, plant, it won't survive. The same way, the season should be proper. Kshetra is, if you put it in a sand, it won't. The soil must be fertile. If you are putting in an infertile land, it won't grow. So you have to bring that fertility into you. And Ambu is water. The fluid inside you should be proper and good. And Bija is the seed. All these 3.5 portions is with women. Only a half portion of Bija is with men. So the woman has to take more care than men because she is the source of all this. So Bija also should be proper. Nowadays the problems are due to the stress, the Bija is not reaching up to the uterus and sticking to the walls of the uterus. Why IVF is successful in even the 30%? Because they are sending the complete sperm and ovum conceived outside with the chemicals and everything, and then sent into the uterus to stick. But whereas in natural thing, all this procedure is done in the uterus properly by itself. So there is 70% to 80%, I can say 90% also chances conceiving naturally. It is only in your mind. The brain should put attention and you will succeed in everything, not only fertility. If your brain is fixed for 120 years to live happily, healthily, you will live. I can guarantee you. But your brain says, oh, she was eating like me, she was doing everything, we both were coming for IVF, and why I went for IVF, it is in the brain that I may not conceive. Don't put that negativity in your brain. We will achieve everything. At the age of 44, she conceived naturally. Because her brain is fixed. No, I don't want any chemicals in my body. The same way, cancers. One woman was given, she is from US, she is a Hollywood photographer. She had third time of cancer repeated. And she was told only 3 months of life. She is still living after 25 years of her panchakarma. Because she is fixed in her brain. I can even give her reference, she can answer you. She wanted to write a book, but she was so busy taking the calls, she said she will help anybody. How I survived. So this way, our mind should be fixed to achieve anything. That is the most important.
20 minutes. I'd like to open it up to the audience. If you want to raise your hand. Yep.
Sure. Namaskaram. I'm Swati from Dharamshala, India, Himachal. Thank you, for being here. It's a pleasure to get to hear from you guys. I have two questions, or two parts of the question. The first part is more like a clarification. Dr. Raju, you mentioned that during the day, each one of us, depending on the hours, go through a different dosha, Vata, Kapha, followed by Pitta. Similarly, you also mentioned that during a life, based on the age, we also have a different prominent dosha. We also understand based on the qualities, our emotional behavior, our physical and mental behavior, that each one of us have a prominent dosha, which defines the Prakriti. Does that mean that irrespective of our prakriti or the primary dosha, each one of us during a day as well as during our life goes through a different dosha. That's the first part of my question. Second part is you both touched upon the therapies like Nasya and Abhyanga. Depending on the each dosha or prakriti, would you be able to, for the benefit of all of us, share a few self-care therapies for each of the prakriti type? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, वयोः रात्रिभुक्तानां ते अंतमध्यादिगः क्रमात्. Vaya means the age. According to the age, the first 30 years is the kapha predominant age, 30 to 60 is the pitta predominant age, 60 to 90 is the vata predominant age. So, during the kapha predominant age, we used to get kapha diseases mostly. During the pitta age, we used to get pitta diseases, metabolic disorders. During the vata age, we get mostly the vata diseases like joint pains or degenerative issues and neurological issues. So to prevent that, according to that, we can do such procedures. Like, in the old age, definitely the Abhyanga and all those things, definitely because we need to do. And so many people, they do also. The application of oil somewhere and to get rid of that dryness and vata. And similarly, during the pitta age, everybody is not doing those things. Pitta is mainly for the digestive, metabolic and transformation things. So if you take care of your food during this age, you can prevent so many diseases, so many hormonal issues, so many, because how Ayurveda says, Sarvepi roganam mando nalaha means all the diseases, the causative factor is the stomach. So if you treat well, if you eat well, you can prevent the diseases. This is the Vayas, age. Ahoratri means daytime and nighttime also. I told you the timings. 2 to 6 is the Vata time, 6 to 10 is the Kapha time, and 10 to 2 is the Pitta time. So try to get up during the Vata time, early morning. Try to eat a good meal, whole balanced meal in the daytime of Pitta, and try to go to bed during the evening time, the Kapha time. So these you can follow. And during the Vata time in the evening, try to, because Vata is more predominant at that time, to reduce that, you can do the meditation, that is the best. And you can do Abhyanga or whatever, instead of doing lot of Vatic things. That you can do. And during the daytime, to reduce the kapha, during the kapha period, you can do the exercise or some work. Yeah, vata properties usually dry, ruksha, laghu, light, shita, cold, khara, rough, sukshma, subtle, and chala, movement. So these are the vata qualities. And pitta qualities, tikshna, sharp, ushna, hot, laghu, light, and foul smell, and fast moving, slippery moving, Sara. And Kapha is heavy, slow, cold. Cold in the sense here, Kapha cold is ice cold, means a little too cold.
Okay.
And more unctuous. So these are the Kapha Lakshanas. And also, after eating also, the first predominant is Kapha, then Pitta, then Vata. So these are the changes. So what you asked, according to the doshas, what we have to do. But according to the Prakriti, you cannot do so much things because you will be confused. Because according to the age, season, food, night, and all these things, you don't get the proper solution. So that is why, what is the Vikriti according to that? If you have a sore throat, you will take some hot water with ginger or something. Or if you have some shivering or chills, you will wear a sweater, like that. So, what is happening according to that you do, but don't go with so much of combinations.
Okay, good. We've got two more questions in 11. Keep the questions short, please, and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Nimita. Thank you so much for this. It was super insightful. I'm Nimita. I'm a cellular mineral and facial analyst. I use cell salts to help women rejuvenate their body, and I use it with Ayurvedic nutrition. I myself, I'm 44 years old, and I wanted to, my question to you is, sure, marriage is important and things like that, but it happens, I'm not the sort who would ever settle, right? So it happens when it's meant to be, and I'm peaking in my career. So that, when it happens, it happens. But I want to be, is there any possibility to reverse my AMH levels? AMH levels, so right now I have like an almond milk tonic. I have like 15 almonds blended with full cream milk. I've been doing this for the past 10 years. I have shatavari ghee. I do a lot of pranayama. I meditate twice a day. I wake up at the right timings, and I live a life of purpose, right? To help people. Yes. And I spend family time, and I'm trying to do all the right things. I'm off my digitals post 7 p.m. So is there anything else that I can do? And are there actual studies that have reversed AMH levels? Thank you.
So this is the main thing which you have to be high weight to have a healthy progeny. So in our family, there is a treatment called banana treatment, which is given to the ladies to increase the AMH level, which helps in the fertility. So during your cycle, if you can take this banana medicine and follow the diet of only having milk rice, or those who are allergic or lactose intolerant can have only the plain rice, then it helps a lot. And your lifestyle during the cycles to be very slower, and not to have more rest, and not to have heavy works, then it will improve your metabolism. And automatically, of course, the other diets like almond and raisins, all these herbs will help you, and the food will help you. Shatavari is a good herb, and some more herbs are there. These herbs are a combination of what is given in what proportion. Because this is the most important thing, how much to take, when to take, all these things. And body is properly oleated, reproductive health is taken care, and the proper cycle and ovulation should happen in time. So many people have proper periods, but the ovulation is not happening on the time it has to be, and it is not a proper fertile ovulation. Then for that we have to give certain herbs. There are so many different combinations of herbs which helps the body to keep this balanced. So AMH is one of the important thing. It can reverse. It can reverse. And with the AMH, sometimes it can be totally low, sometimes it can improve to a very high stage. No, it can be improved. I have reports of that. So, yeah. So keep taking whatever you are and try to have a diagnosis why your AMH levels, of course the age factors, but you have to make it happen. As I told you, 44, 46, and people are conceiving. So, IVF, people have a wrong impression that IVF can give more good results. But no, your natural way gives more result.
Thank you. Let's move on to the last question.
Hi, Hi, I'm Megan, coming from the US. And just quickly, I'm an Ayurvedic health counselor. And something that I'm seeing often is people who are having good diet, eating organic things, whole foods, doing all of the right things, the ginger tea, the CCF, everything. The nature of the food quality, especially in the US, is so heavy with glyphosate and PFAS, and even if you're doing all of the right things, you're taking in toxins and the body is really struggling with it. Are there daily things that we can be doing to support Raktadhatu and really set ourselves up for success?
So, the food which you take, one thing you have to keep in mind is, you have to put attention on easily digestible food. And the Bilona ghee. With this ghee, you can overcome all the 80, and I don't say all the 80 Vata diseases, but most of the Vata diseases. Vata is dryness. So you have to overcome Vata with the oil, which is the most important thing. So apply oil from outside. So when you take too much of oil, it is not good. So Bilona method, in the way of Bilona method, if you are having the ghee by yourself, because nowadays people are saying Bilona method, but I don't know. Unless and until I see it with my eyes, I cannot say it is a Bilona method. Bilona method is properly making the curd with the cream and churning the curd in a clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. That gives proper ghee which does not increase the cholesterol and that does not give you any harmful effects of the ghee. With ghee, people say, no, I will put on weight and all these things, but it won't give you all those things. Bilona ghee is nowadays very, very famous in every country, but see that you make the Bilona ghee. Because recently we have visited one country where people are all meditators in Fairfield. So I told them, take everybody's butter from that. In Mahabharata, Sri Krishna used to steal the butter from different houses. They used to keep that butter and give it to the king. All of them have to send it to king. So they used to put it on a proper thing in a pot and hang it to the ceiling so that no other thing can catch it and steal it. So Sri Krishna used to go and steal that. That Bilona butter has so much power. To Gritena Vardhate Buddhi. With the ghee, you can improve the brain functioning. Proper ghee can break the barriers, can reach up to the brain. It can go beyond the blood-brain barrier and improve your brain functioning.
Thank you very much. We must get one last question.
Yeah, I just want to make one comment. As a health educator of 30 years and as a yoga teacher, I have to stress that I'm a vegan and I'm an animal rights activist, and I've been campaigning for over 32 years to take ghee and to take dairy out of your diet. So the answer to both of your questions from a health educator of 30 years, ranging from raw food nutrition, organic health in the US and California and London, I wouldn't use ghee, I would use hemp oil, or I would use udo's oil. Udo's oil is a mixture of 3 different long-chain fatty acids of hemp oil, vegetable oil, and flaxseed oil. And you would have no need at all to use ghee or any dairy product in your diet. That's where I disagree with these 3 people, okay? I'm a vegan. They're not vegans. I've been a healthy vegan for 32 years. I weigh 67 kilos. I exercise rigorously for 7 hours a day. And I'm 66 years old. And I've not had one bit of dairy product or sugar or coffee or alcohol in 32 years. So I will tend to disagree profusely with anyone who tells you to take ghee as part of your diet, which puts me at odds with these learned people, but have the courage to be disliked. Huh? Okay, and that's to both of you. If you're going to eat organic milk, if you're going to eat almonds, eat organic almonds. Do not eat toxic, non-organic almonds. They are so toxic. American almonds are the most toxic almond in the world. They have to be organic, FDSA approved, Soil Association approved, and all your food, every one of you, should be organic, should be Soil Association, FDSA approved. Otherwise, you're feeding yourself toxicity, and ghee can be toxic as well, trust me.
Hello, my name is Sam. I'm from New York. Pleasure. Thank you all. Appreciate it. All the knowledge has been beautiful. Kind of a follow-up question, actually. So in terms of applying the oil to the body, to the nostrils, to the ears, etc., I generally use coconut oil or jojoba oil. I do have these habits generally integrated in into my daily lifestyle. Do you find a difference between natural oils like Stewart that was just talking about? Do you find a difference between using a coconut oil or a jojoba oil versus an animal-derived ghee? Thank you.
Thank you. Very short answers, please, because we must move on to the next class.
So, usually the oils, mainly we use sesame oil and coconut oil. So, sesame is a little bit heat. So, during the summers, if it is creating some heat, the better way is the coconut oil.
Okay, good.
So,
Any others? Sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on the time.
So, when it is irritating, you can shift it into coconut oil. So, both are the good oils. And rest of the other oils, they are predominant with so many other things. So, better not. Almond oil is also very good, but it is good for the head and sensory organs. But for all the body, coconut and sesame.
Okay, we good? All right. Everybody, that was a fantastic session.
Fantastic. Could you just do one final thing and just give our panel, Sanjay, Padma, Krishna, could you give them all a big hand for their time and their expertise and their knowledge? And have a great rest of your 5th day of the IYF. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you.
Can I trouble a few of you to stay behind and just help me get some of the chairs to the side and the sofas to the side? If you've got 3 minutes to help me, I'd be very grateful. Thank you all.